there's still a lot of people who trust in the modern school system. And it sucks to see because I know that one day, unless those people are content with living mediocre lives, one day those people are going to wake up and they're going to realize that they hate their lives. They're going to realize that their income isn't where they want to be. Their life isn't where they want to be. They're probably in a bunch of debt, and they wasted years and years and years of their life because the modern school system has failed them completely, right? When do you ever see, somebody interviewing a millionaire or a billionaire and they ask them, hey, how'd you get rich? How did you build this life? How did you gain all this wealth? And they say, you know what? I went to college. I went to college, got a great degree. I went and got a job, worked at a company for 40 years, and they gave me my dream life. You never hear that. At least I've never heard that. And the truth is that even though there's successful people who have gone to college, and sure, they may have learned certain characteristics that help them later on in life, that doesn't directly correlate to their success. And if it doesn't directly correlate to their success, we can actually see results where a lot of people have gotten extreme results without it. And so listen, the big issue that I have with college and why I'm spreading this message that the modern school system has failed you is because so many people are having the expectation that college is going to open up more doors for them. It's going to give them the life that they want. It's going to put them where they want to be later on in life. And that's simply not the case for most people, right? For most people, that's just not what it is. I know people with computer science degrees working at window tinting places because they just can't find a job. I know people with all kinds of degrees working minimum wage jobs or just above minimum wage jobs. And now they're in debt, or they got their parents in debt because the parents said, hey, Billy, hey, Sammy, I'm going to pay for your college. And they rack up more debt as a result of it, leaving them or their parents in a worse financial spot than when they first started. So listen, I think that college is good for some things. I think it's good for networking, right? If you go to one of these prestigious schools, you'll get more value out of the network and the people that you're in communication with than the actual curriculum itself. Now, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, and that's what you think is your life's purpose and your life's calling, then by all means go do it. But after having conversations with many people, the only reason, a lot of times in my experience, when I've talked to these people, one of the only reasons why they pick these fields is not because they're passionate about it at all. They're doing it simply for the money. And even if they become a doctor or an attorney and they're making good money, at what price? Their time, their schedules. They don't have freedom. I don't want that for my life. And listen, I don't judge anybody for wanting that if that's what you truly desire. All I'm saying is that money shouldn't be your only motivator for doing it. And there's a massive, massive population of people who the only reason why they're going to college is because of their parents, is because they think that's the right thing to do. It's the next evolution. It was fourth grade, then fifth grade, then sixth grade, then they graduated high school, and that's just the next step. And that's just what feels so natural to them. And for some people, that's fine. But I'm talking to the people that now have useless degrees, can't get a job, and now are in so much debt, right? We have people going to get business degrees from people who don't have a business. That's insane. And this is just my opinion, but would you take personal training advice from somebody who's overweight? I mean, would you? So why do people do that with school? So I believe we're in the age of mentors. We're in the age where if you want something, whether that's dream body, the cars, the houses, to travel, the freedom, the mindset, the relationships, whatever it is that you desire in life, I would find somebody who's done it, find somebody who's in that place, and try to learn from them. We have YouTube, we have Google. We live in an age where we are overwhelmed with massive amounts of information. So there's no shortage of people to learn from. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There's so many people to learn from that you now have to kind of be very careful and vet out the people that you're going to choose to learn from, because there's so many options to choose from. So listen, me personally, if my son asked me, hey, Dad, let's just say I knew nothing. And they said, hey, Dad, I want to be a business owner. I want to make money. I want to do X, Y, and Z. I'd say, okay, son, find somebody who's done that and try to learn from them. Try to go work for them. Now, they may be in a position where they don't have any use for low-skilled labor. And at that point, I'd tell my son, you know what, son, if you want to provide value to these people that you want to learn from, that you want to be like, then you have to acquire high-value skills. High-value skills like sales, like marketing, leadership, negotiation, systems and automation, follow-up, customer acquisition, client success. There's so many individual skills that this person would have to learn in order to actually provide someone value who's at a much higher level, right? When I first dropped out of college, when I graduated high school, right before I went into college, I started a marketing agency where I would help local business owners acquire new leads for their businesses. And one of my clients was a hair salon, and the owner was a business major from UTEP, one of the local colleges where I'm from. And it was amazing to me that he was hiring me, someone who just graduated high school, hadn't been to college a day in his life, on marketing advice, marketing and sales advice. Because whatever I had to offer, he did not learn it in college. And I was able to show him a process for generating new leads for pennies on the dollar, and ended up helping him grow and scale his business to the point where he eventually closed it down. He didn't want to work in that industry anymore. He was doing it because it was a job. He eventually just stacked some money up and then went on to do something else. Right? So how crazy is that? He went to school for however many years, all to hire some kid fresh out of high school who took an online course on marketing to help him with sales. That's a crazy paradigm, but that's the world we live in. 95% of businesses are terrible at marketing. And it's not that they're bad people. It's not that they don't have a good product or a good service. It's simply that being a business owner can be quite overwhelming. And when you have so much on your plate, the last thing that you're focused on is, how do I run Facebook ads? How do I do Google ads? How do I write better copy? How do I, build an affiliate business? How do I generate more referrals from my customers? They're stuck in the day-to-day, right? They're stuck in the day-to-day grind of all the little mediocre tasks that they have to do, and they're constantly working in the business, not on the business. And that's where you can come in, or that's where someone can come in, provide a highly valuable skill in a very specific area where they've developed more expertise than said business owner. So point number one is the modern school system has failed you. And secondly, it's the age of mentors. You got to find somebody who has the life that you want, the exact dream life that you want, and go after them. See if they have a YouTube channel. See if you can find maybe some interviews or podcasts that they've been on. See if you can do some research on them. Find out their backstory. How did they start? How did they even get to where they are now? In most cases, it's documented. The life of billionaires is documented. You could buy books. I have a stack of books right here to my left. You could buy autobiographies from billionaires for $20. Do you think those people have something of value to give you? Of course. You've spent more than $20 at fucking shoes or the Starbucks or whatever, but you won't buy a book and just skim through it, see if there's anything valuable inside? And this is what I'm saying. The modern school system is broken, and most people understand that now. But the reason why most people will, even knowing this, will continually act in a manner that is self-sabotaging is because they don't know what else to do. They feel like they don't have any other options. And I'm here to tell you that you have other options. Find a mentor. And yes, I understand. You can't just go to fucking Elon Musk and say, hey, Elon, I'll work for you for free. All I want is, connections and to learn from you. Elon Musk doesn't need low-skilled labor. But what you could do is go read a book about him. What you could do is maybe find someone who's not at as high of a level. You can find interviews where he talks about how he built up his businesses. And that within of itself is valuable to you no matter what you're trying to do. So that's really the main reason why I dropped out of college. And honestly, it was the best decision I ever made, because now I make more money than a lot of kids who are out of college. They have their degrees. They've been working in their field for a few years, and they have no ability to scale. Their income is capped. Luckily, I was able to get into the real estate industry quite early in my life and been able to grow that. And it's been very profitable for me. I've never had to worry about, only been able to make $2-3 grand a month, which for a lot of people, that's a reality. And you can't live off of that. You can, but for a lot of people, especially if you're watching this, that's probably not the existence that you want. So I'm not even telling you to listen to me. Have you noticed that? I'm not telling you I'm the greatest. You need to listen to me. I know it all. I'm an expert. No. The message that I'm trying to get across to you is that there's fundamental principles and universal laws that will help you be successful no matter what you're trying to do. Whether you're trying to be an Olympic swimmer, whether you're trying to open up your own business, whether you're trying to start a nonprofit organization. It doesn't matter what your passions are. It doesn't matter what your aspirations are. There's universal laws and principles that are going to affect you no matter what you do. And if you can start to learn those things, you can start to use them in your favor. One of the things is the law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you get. And we all know this. Sometimes I give money to homeless people, or I'll tip more than, the standard 15, 30%, whatever it is, because I know the more I give, the more I get. And it feels good to give. I'll see an up and coming YouTube channel and I'll subscribe. I'll like it. I'll comment on it because I want to see people grow. And I know that in turn, people will do the same for me because they want to give in order to get. And that's universal law, and there's no way around it. Now, one other thing that I want you to know is that you're no different from these high-level entrepreneurs. The people that you may look up to in your industry, they're no different than you. They breathe the same air. They bleed the same blood. What's different? Their environment. What's different? Their mindset, their habits, their time management. If you can learn from these people, what's their environment like? Who are their friends? What are their habits like? What time do they wake up? Are they partying and drinking every single weekend, or are they not? Are they constantly working to improve themselves physically and mentally in the gym by not only working out, but eating the right foods and having the proper diet, or are they not? Are they actively taking an aggressive role inside of their business, trying to advance it forward every single day, or are they not? Are they meticulous with their calendar, or are they not? You can start to understand if you can start to understand someone's habits, you can replicate them, and you could start to advance your life forward slowly but surely. You can be the next big thing in whatever you want to fucking do. The most important thing is just to find somebody who's done it and start to mimic their actions. And even if you don't know exactly what to do, if you're above average IQ, you're not stupid, and you can learn from your mistakes and see like, oh, you know what? I've been trying this for 6 months and haven't gotten any results. I understand consistency is key, but let me try something else. Let me try editing this copy. Let me try editing my messaging. Let me try to be more efficient with what I'm doing. Let me try to gain some leverage by having other people help me. Maybe I hire a consultant. Maybe I do some more research and I try to build a local network of other people who are in similar situations, or maybe just slightly above me on the entrepreneurial scale that I can actually have access to. If you can do those things, then you're going to start seeing yourself on a better path. Now, I want to leave you guys with the first step that I believe anybody should take in order to truly see an improvement in their life. When I first started my marketing agency, I would literally go to bed working. I would fall asleep with my laptop open, just knock out because I'm exhausted. And the minute that my eyes would open again in the morning, I would get right back to work. I would pick up right where I left off. No breaks, no anything. And it didn't feel like work. It didn't feel like, oh, I'm grinding and hoorah, yeah, I'm a badass. Like, no, it's just I desired it. And that's step one. Desire. Having a burning desire. When you truly want something, you'll pass up on sleep. You'll pass up on going out. For years, I didn't go out. Still to this day, I don't go to clubs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I used to drink a lot. I used to be addicted to drugs. That's a topic for another episode, but I dropped a lot of things because I wanted to prioritize this, and I knew that it was something very important to me. And I knew that if it was important enough, I would be willing to sacrifice anything to get it. I want to change my bloodline. It's not just about me. It's about for those around me. I want to be the example. I want to be the person that they could look up to. I want to be the person that's the rock in the family, that no matter what problem arises, I'm the person they turn to solve it. And in order to do that, it takes dedication. It takes hard work. It takes years of commitment without always seeing results, and still willing to put in the work no matter what. So again, step one, desire. Find out what you want. Try different things. A good way, there's this thing called your Olarian destiny, right? Which is kind of like how you grew up. The things you grew up around are essentially kind of already part of your success. So for example, Robert Downey Jr., you guys may know him as Iron Man. His father was a director. Robert was involved in filmmaking and acting at a very young age. So it's no surprise now that he's one of the most famous actors we've ever known. There's elements of your life that if you can begin to pick apart, like, what was I interested in as a kid? What's something that I grew up around? What certain skills do I have? What do I know more about than most people? That might be video games. That might be sports. That might be tech. That might be engineering. That might be, cutting hair. It could be anything. Anything that you have more knowledge in than the average person can develop into a high income earning skill. But it starts with the desire. You got to find out what you want. And once you have your goal set on what you want, you need to craft your why. Why do you want it so bad? And ask yourself why multiple times over and over and over again to really get to the root of why you want it. And for me, when I go really deep into asking myself why, it's because of what I just said. I want to set the example. I want to be the person that everybody can turn to and look at as a solid person that no matter what problem they have, I'm the person that can solve it. I don't bend, I don't fold, I don't miss. I'm there for them when they need me. We will do a lot more for others than we'll ever do for ourselves. For example, if I told you, hey, if you do ab workouts every day for the next 30 days, I don't care how overweight you are, you'll have a six-pack. Maybe some of you would do it. Maybe not. The majority of you wouldn't. But if I said, imagine you're a loved one, your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your son, your daughter, and I put a gun to their head. And I said, if you don't do ab workouts for the next 30 days, you know what's going to happen. I don't even have to finish the sentence. A much higher percentage of people would actually do it. Why? Because they're willing to do more for others and they're willing to do for themselves. I need you to understand this, and I need you to understand that there's options. You have more options than you're aware of. You don't have to fucking go to college. You don't have to conform. You don't have to be like everybody else in society. You don't have to be what they want you to be. You can be anybody you want. You can have anything you want. You can have any life you want. The choice is ultimately yours. And the first step is desire. And you'll know you'll have the right desire when you're willing to sacrifice everything to get it. You'll sacrifice sleep. You'll sacrifice friends. You'll sacrifice going out. You'll sacrifice video games. I used to love playing fucking video games. And I gave it up because I understood that in order to get to where I want to be, I'm going to have to make a decision, make some sacrifices, and move forward. Look at that word, decision. An incision is cutting in. A decision is cutting off, cutting out. Make a decision. In order to grow, you must first remove things from your current lifestyle in order to make room for new habits to form that will ultimately lead you to a better place. These are the things that allowed me to make more money. These are the things to help build better relationships with my family, with the loved ones around me. And these are the things that help me now. Like, I don't go out, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't fucking eat a bunch of unhealthy shit. I don't go weeks without missing the gym or months like I used to without missing the gym. Now, like, maybe I'll miss one day, but like where I don't go to the actual gym, but I'll make sure that I'll do push-ups at home or I'll do an at-home workout to supplement it in some degree. These are the things that if you just simply start to sacrifice a little bit, I promise you, you're going to start to see results in your life. And you have to be aware. You have to be cognitive of these things and look around and be more observant of your surroundings. Make a decision, cut some things off, and you'll know you have your desire right when you're willing to sacrifice things for it. Success and improving things in your life is a game of reduction. It's how many things can you remove out of your path in order to get to where you want to be. The more you can remove, the more you can sacrifice, the quicker and easier you will get to your path.